Hey, the boys and girls, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of No Choftes. There you go, that's better, isn't it? You don't want to see my whole fucking face in that blur there. Fucking hell. Shining onto my bald head. So, 4-0 victory over Ethnikos. How is everyone feeling now? Have people recovered from the rants after losing to Rakov, Choftes? Have we recovered? Are we feeling better? I'm feeling calm. I'm feeling absolutely calm. I had a feeling we would get a good victory tonight. Had a feeling it would be emphatic. Okay, it was a little bit more trickier than I would have liked. But if you went to the Patreon, or if you're a Patreon subscriber for €3 a month, you'd have seen the pre-game analysis. And I said, I don't really know what system Pincelli's going to play because obviously they don't have a head coach. They sacked their coach the other day. They've lost 7 on the bounce. Are they going to go 5 at the back like they've normally done? I don't know. But they pretty much stuck to the same system as what they've done all season. 5 at the back, effectively 4 in midfield, 1 up front, with Brenner playing off Anderegen. And the first half weren't particularly great, was it? It was Trahana. First half was Trahana. It was... Those are all the sound effects that you're going to get from me tonight. But second half was Aυγολέμονο, wasn't it? It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And to be honest, once we got that second goal, it was game done. First half, as I said, we created some openings. First 10, 15 minutes, we had the Iting shot, which was saved, and then he rattled the crossbar afterwards. I'm going to go into the highlights in just a bit, but listen, at the end of the day, we did what we had to do. We got the victory. As I said, it wasn't a pretty first half. We had to grind it out a little bit. Players had to work harder than usual. Ethnikos like to get stuck in. They had nothing to lose, apart from the game, obviously. Came into the game as the underdogs, and they caused us a few problems, didn't they? A few problems. But here's the thing. I know what people are going to say. And there's still going to be people being critical of the team within reason, of course. I mean, let's get it right. It wasn't a great first half performance, but people are going to be critical and they're going to say, well, it wasn't pretty and we kind of rode our luck a little bit, which is true. But I remember the season when we won the league. I seem to remember us drawing against Paralimni at home. We drew against Ermiz at home. We drew against Doxa at home. These performances weren't pretty throughout the whole season. We ground out victories as well. And Themaste, we beat Pafos at home 2-1. Ethnikos, was it home or away? We beat them 2-1. It was away, wasn't it, when Botek scored? So even the season where we won the league, we had to grind out victories. And while today you see the 4-0 scoreline first half, you wouldn't have thought it would have been a 4-0 scoreline, did you? And credit to Ethnikos, they caused us problems. And the Regan had a chance. In fact, there was a fantastic save from Fabi, which I'm going to show you in just a bit. But there were some strange refereeing decisions as well first half. I mean, I could bring them up, but there's no point in complaining, right? We won the game. It might have been worth complaining about had we not got the win, because that first half, there were some decisions that referee made, especially right at the end of the first half when we should have had a corner and Jovetic was arguing with him and he got booked. I don't know how the referee missed out. I don't know how the linesman missed out. But hey, we could go back to the whole referees are shit conversation, but we know they're shit anyway. Majority of them that come to Cyprus or refereeing in Cyprus are dog wank. So what are we going to do? Sit and complain about them? No, we got the win, and that's the main thing. Second half, turned it up, and our passing was better. The movement was better. And I think that was a fundamental difference between the first half and the second half. First half, we were very static. We'd receive the ball in our half. We'd have our 2 centre-backs playing the ball side to side. Gitsel get involved. Masura get involved. But there wasn't enough movement up top. So we're either going to have to play the ball over the top or we have to switch the ball to wide areas and hope that we can beat a couple men and get the ball in the box. It wasn't great. Defensively, Ethnikos weren't too clever either, but they were organised and were very physical. They were stopping the play, which is becoming very, very frustrating. And then Pana scored the goal. Now, on the one hand, I thought, oh, wait, is the referee going to take the game back and give us a penalty instead? Because, it wouldn't surprise me. But what a finish that was. He's a central defender, guys. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he did that against Ike the other week, didn't he? Where he was offside. But that was a great finish in off the post. Second half, we came like I don't know, like a wrecking ball, like Miley Cyrus. Passing was more fluid, quicker movement in the final third. All right, I still think we were a little bit sloppy, giving the ball away a few times. Evandro and Tankovic, first 5 minutes in the second half, even Koulibaly gave the ball away, which almost led to an opportunity for them. I was very impressed with the two in midfield, in all fairness, because let's get it right. When you got a team like Ethnikos, who are going to be very, very physical, I kind of expected them to get stuck in on Evandro and Eiting, and I didn't know if they would be able to hack it. As I said, Evandro was quite sloppy in large parts of the game, large portions of the game, but when he got his passing right, it was beautiful to watch. Spraying balls 30-yard square to the flanks, playing balls over the top. And the thing is with Evandro, I think the thing that frustrates me the most about him is he can be exceptional in some moments of games where you're thinking, bloody hell, what have we got here? Especially in the middle of the park as a number 8, or even playing a little bit deeper, not as a 6, but, you know, slightly ahead of the 6. But then there are times where he gives the ball away and you're thinking, mate, what were you trying? Now, I don't know whether this is like a Brazilian thing where it's in their DNA to try and be a little bit extravagant, try the cute stuff, but be a bit more like Eiting, Evandro. Be a bit more like Eiting, because that guy, he can ball out, honestly. And I think he was unfortunate to pick up a yellow card. But Eiting can ball out. And when Eiting is fit, and if he stays fit, then he's a game changer completely. And again, he's one of those players that can make a difference from 1 point to 3 points in a game. Just one bit of magic, and it will turn it around. Very pleased with the central defender's performance again. All right, as I mentioned before, Ethnikos had a couple of chances first half. But all in all, I think the defensive display was good. All right, Gitso first half, again, a little bit frustrating. Gave the ball away a couple of times, which, again, led to opportunities. Masura was a bit quiet first half. But once he got going, once he got into a rhythm, and as I said, once again, in the Patreon, down Ethnikos' left-hand side with Afori being suspended, there were chances to get in behind them. In the second half, we did it a lot of the time. Tankovic had a decent second half. First half, kind of anonymous. And at halftime, I was thinking to myself, when are we going to see the real Tankovic? Now, one could argue at Pafos, played predominantly on the left, bringing the ball inside, smashing it in from 25, 30 meters. But he's playing on the right. Different responsibilities, different role. Are we trying to shoehorn him in the team so you can get Jovetic and Tankovic in the team? Now, Bleugh knows better. Bleugh is the coach. So I'm not going to be here to completely question his thought process or mindset. It'll be wrong. But at the same time, that first half, it wasn't working with Tankovic. But second half, he drifted more central. He played off the defender's shoulder a little bit on the left-hand side, or the right side, the central defender's playing off his shoulder. Got his goal. Good finish. All right, unmarked, but you still need to put it away. If he missed, we'd be on his fucking arse, wouldn't we? So there you go. 2 penalties. Funny that. We didn't get a penalty last week against Ajax, and we complained quite a lot about it, and we got 2 today. So there you go. We got them. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't if you're Omonian. There. The first one, okay, debatable. For some, the moment I saw it, I said, that's a penalty. You can't not give it. His arm is out. I don't even know why his arm is out. And people are going to say, well, he's trying to head the ball and he has to get... No, you don't have to have your arms out like that. Second one, listen, if anyone tells me that second one wasn't a penalty, get in the fucking bin. I'm not hearing that. So, you know, it was a controlled second half. As I said, played the ball much, much better, much quicker. And that's the thing. Pace kills. And no disrespect to other teams in the Brathlima, but when you're a mid-table team or lower down, obviously the quality isn't going to be there, especially defensively. And again, as I said in the Patreon, and I've said it numerous times in the analysis videos, when you're playing against teams like Ethnikos, even if they play with a low block or get men behind the ball, they're still susceptible to errors. So, whereas in Europe, you might get 2 to 3 chances max, clear-cut opportunities. In the Brathlima, you get 5 or 6. And we had that tonight. It could have been more. Jovetic has a chance second half on the edge of the box where I'm thinking either side of the goalkeeper, it's in the back of the net. He hits it straight down the keeper's throat. Were we wasteful at times? I think we were at times, but I'm not going to be overcritical. We scored 4 goals. So, really and truly, guys, first half, Trahana, second half, Avualemona. There you go. And anyone that tells me that Trahana is better than Avualemona, get out. Get out. The door is there. Exo. Esosas. If you're not, anyway. Edo! Shall I put you in timeout? I'll put you in timeout for 10 minutes. I don't mind. Yanni, you and me, like that. Hello. Hello. Hello, Olivia. Hello, Estelle. Good win. Another clean sheet. We keep going. There you go. There you go. And we keep the pressure on Buffalo, don't we? Now, I know they've got a game in hand, and it's against them lot, so I don't really expect them lot to do us any favors. They need to win it for themselves. But now, it's a point difference. And with that game probably being played in February, fixture congestion and all that, let's see now. The pressure is on, isn't it, boys and girls? The pressure is on. Let's see. What the F with Kuli tonight is the after injury or something. In my opinion, is Tankovic or Jovetic not together. Yeah, Kuli was a little bit sloppy at times. As I said, second half, he gave the ball away, which almost led to an opportunity. Look, you can't expect Kuli to play games and have a 10 out of 10 performance every time he touches pitch. It's not going to happen. There's going to be games where he's going to drop stinkers. We've seen it already this season. But I think Henning Berger's managed the squad very, very well. Very well. He's rotated at the right times. He hasn't overplayed players. Overplayed players. Can't even get that out. I think at the beginning of the season, we were very skeptical, asking why certain players were being played too many times, too many minutes. This one's going to get burnt out, etc., etc. But as the season progressed, and I think I said it on one of the pods, it's going to come to a point where he knows he's got to manage the squad better. And perhaps he was using the beginning of the season to play players more than he should have done, just so he can get some momentum in the squad, get points on the board, take advantage of the other teams who perhaps were starting slow. I mean, you go to Anorthosis and you batter them 5-0. When does that happen? When does that happen? You slap IL. When does that happen? When do we ever slap them? Because we slap them. And that's when these players, with a lack of rotation, were in form. So Berg has managed the squad very, very well. And then you look at the European games and you see, all right, Drita wasn't great. Mainz could have been better. Lausanne were unfortunate not to come away with a win. Rakov, okay, difficult opponent. But the chances that we had, we could have got something out of it. So it hasn't been a disappointing European campaign either. So we're still in the hunt for 2. I'm not saying we're going to win the Europa League, Conference League, sorry. But it's good to know that we're still in the competition. Still a long season. And potentially 2-3 players to come in January. You just never know. But as for this game, guys, I don't think we can have many complaints, and we shouldn't have any complaints. Even if we won the game 1-0. Yeah, we could say it should be more, but a win is a win at the end of the day. And I'd have taken a 1-0, playing shit football, boring the fuck out of us, and to make sure that we're still in contention. I repeat, the heat is on Buffalo now. It's really on them. Because last season, it was plain sailing for them. They didn't have much of a challenge. I mean, they were going... I mean, when did they end up? They were top of the league by game week 4, I think. And they were top right until like November, where they dropped down a week and then they went back up top. And then they carried on until, was it February, March when they dropped down to second? And then afterwards, they just stayed top. So I think it was It was brilliant. Pedro saying I'm freezing. Am I freezing? Am I freezing? What's going on now? Am I lagging, guys? Because my internet has been fine all day, so it could be StreamYard playing up again. Oh, well. Anyway, why aren't you in bed? Yes. Yes. Oh, for fuck's sake. Only the picture. This is not good. This is not good. I'm just thinking, should I come out of it and go back in again? But then the stream's just going to be dead. I'll tell you what. Let me just remove myself for a second. Hold on. Let me turn my camera off. I'm turning my camera off. I've turned my camera off. How about now? Does this look better? Does it sound better? It does, doesn't it? All right. I'll tell you what. I'm going to put my camera on in just a minute. I'll put my camera on in just a minute when I've brought up some comments. Eel soup is good. Dirty bastard. Overpaid only Janssen. Cigare. We're not doing this. Another clean sheet for Fabi. Now that our choice here, is Fabio the best ever goalkeeper to come to Cyprus, or do you think Choftes is also on the table? I'm not going to have this Cuventa. I'm not going to have this conversation. Am I still freezing? Am I still freezing? I'll turn the camera off and I'll put it back on again. Am I still freezing, Pedro? Pedro's in bed, by the way. He's not well. Grima, man. Pedro, message me. He's probably dozed off now. He's probably been pumping himself with medication. Oh, wait, no. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles. Come on. Are you typing with one finger, you weirdo? I'm just going to let the people talk. No. There you go. See? There you go. If you want, I will jump on so you refresh. No, it's okay. It's fine. I don't want your mixes all of this. I'm still freezing. Oh, fuck it. I don't give you shit anymore, man. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. I'm stuck now. What the fuck is going on? I wonder. Let me see if I can come out. It's going to make a difference. Hold on. No, I can't. I don't want to do that because we might end the stream. Well, listen. If I do this and I end the stream, I apologize. Okay? Because I've given you 18 minutes, but I'm going to come out and come back in again. And if it's still on, jiggy. 1 second.
Yo.
Oh my God. That's even worse than I thought.
Yes.
Can you fuck off now?
Did you come out and come in again?
Yes, I'll come out and come in again.
Okay.
You sound like death.
That's my middle name.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. I'm too afraid to ask you what you're doing.
Nah, do not ask me.
What the fuck, man?
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Can you go now?
I thought that Gotham needs me.
Fuck off. Just fuck off. Thank you. Oh my God. What the fuck? Stell's internet has been what I have. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I don't know what's going on. Really don't know what's going on. Clip it, please. The sound is good. Only I don't give a shit anymore, man. I don't care. In a home game against Ethnikos with a squad full of attack-minded players, MVP is a central defender. Food for thought. KWS, clip it. What? Listen. Why do people think Pana was our MVP? That is the question. Why was Pana the MVP? Was it because he scored? Was it because he was solid? What is it? Tell me. I don't know. Anyway, let me see if I can get this video clip. If this works, then I'm going to laugh my ass off. Right, so these are the highlights from the game. Eiting's shot, which was saved by Flores, good save there, and immediately we get the shot which hits the crossbar. A well-worked short corner, by the way. I must admit. But that's a cracking volley. Look at that. That's Paul Scholes-esque. Don't know when the ball came back, but hey. Now, this was the moment where they almost scored. And again, we've been playing the ball around. Evandro gives the ball away cheaply. Anderegen has to score that, to be honest. But we got lucky. And we got the goal in the 23rd minute. A corner, which again, probably should have had a penalty there, but the referee did the right thing to play on, because I'm pretty certain they would have taken it back if it was. Again, that's a poor ball from Evandro. That's twice now, but look at that for a finish. Crikey. How about for the finish, man? Look at that. Look at that turn. It's like Marco van Basten, bro. Panna van Basten. Look at that. Come on. Great finish. Now, again, poor defending. I don't know what Koulibaly was thinking there. Good clearance off the line from Masura. He was there. Right man at the right time. And this was the next opportunity which Ethnikos had. Again, fucking about. We get the ball clear. Cerdo wins the ball back, plays it backwards, and then, yeah, well done. But look at this for a save from Fabio. That is such a difficult save to make. What a save that is. And again, from the resulting corner, something that I've been very, very critical about, how our players like to back off and invite the shot. This happened against Ajax when they hit the post. And again, almost. But the penalty was awarded. And again, I don't know what people are going to be saying online. Couldn't give a shit. That's a handball all day, twice on a Sunday. Anyone that disagrees, you're a dickhead. That's all I have to say. So yeah, we got the penalty, even though it took them forever and a day to fucking decide. I mean, I don't know why the referee needed to see it so many times. I was waiting for him to say the ball's too close at hand. But yeah, good penalty. Goalkeeper's got a hand to it, but it was just too strong. And then we wrapped it up with a third lovely build-up play. Wonderful pass and movement. Maya's done very, very well there. He's got 3 players around him. Got the ball in the box, got into the 6-yard box. That's a good finish to make it 3. And finally, the 4th goal. Very, very well worked. Good ball over the top there. And again, handball. Does anyone want to argue with that? Anyone? Any non-Omonia fan want to say that's not a penalty? I'll push you down the stairs. Yeah, I've got Roy's internet tonight, bro. I'm sorry. But you can watch the highlights. Or you can even watch the analysis video that I'm going to do on Patreon. So, yeah. I need to apologize, guys. I mean, I don't like it when it freezes like this. Again, I don't know what's going on, in all fairness. It is what it is. But, hey, I'm not expecting to get 1,000 views. Or shall I buy some views? Might work. Bedros appeared like the pop-ups on the internet saying, meet a girl near your neighborhood. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The starting 11 was better for 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1 based on the players. Yeah. Well, that's how we play off the ball, Gulli. We play with a 4-4-2 off the ball. And usually see Jovetic doing more pressing than Maya, which I think is quite funny. And I'm going to go back to talk about Jovetic here. It's not that bad. That's all right. I'll take that, bro. I'll take that. What I'm going to do is go back to Jovetic, because for a while I've been saying that he could hinder us. But I flip it by saying in these games, like your Ethnikos, your Paralimni, these are the games you want to play him in because he's got that added bit of quality. And we saw it tonight. How he'd be dropping deep, getting the ball back to goal, spinning off, playing it sideways, backwards, switching the play. That's what he does. But to do it in the big games, the derby games, where there's more intensity, there's more physicality, he doesn't like it. He needs to move the ball quicker. He can't do it. So ideally, I'd like to have someone like Evandro or Tankovic as a 10, where you know you're going to get more mobility, you're going to get more creativity. Yes, the quality isn't there in comparison to Jovetic, but when you're hitting teams on the counter-attack, listen, I would love to see Semedo, Andreu, Neofido, and Maya attacking forward. Can you imagine? But would Neofido and Maya work in this kind of system? Well, we wouldn't have a 10 for a start. So we'd have to go 4-4-2, which means that there's a massive gap between the central midfielders and the two strikers, unless one of the strikers drops deep from time to time, which I think Maya can do, but he's not the kind of player that likes the physical game. Back to goal, he's not great. When he's running at the goal, lethal. So, really and truly, it's a game of chess, isn't it? And we've been playing 4D chess with clubs all season. There you go. Pana was the only player from the first half that looked fresh, and that's why he is the MVP. Well, look, I think we need to really look at Pana's development since making his debut. And I can't remember a time where we've said he doesn't look like he's an Omonia player. Yeah, he went through phases where his form dipped and he made a few mistakes here and there. And we were saying he needs to rest. But think about it. I mean, how old is he now? He's got to be early 20s, right? I still feel like he's fucking 20 years old, man. How old is the lad? Pana. 25, man. He's 25. And he's still got at least 7 years left in him. At least 7 years top level. And defenders these days can go until they're 35, 36, even 37 at a push. He's been an outstanding player for us, man. Absolutely outstanding. And his contract runs out in 2027. So we still got him locked in for at least a year and a half. Yeah, he's been doing the business. He's been showing maturity as well. But to be fair, and I'm going to go back to that season when it was Pana and Lang as centre-backs. In fact, it was season after we won the title. You'd have thought that Pana was the senior central defender. Yes, of course, he's made mistakes. Yes, of course, there have been times where he hasn't been in form. But what we're seeing with Pana is a player with more strings to his bow. We saw him playing at left back. We see him getting goals now. He's not just a left-footed central defender. He can do more. He can bring the ball out of defense. And this, listen, I hate being the one to say I told you so, but I don't know if you guys remember, for those of you who are day ones, when we were doing those Choftes with Roy at the beginning, and we were saying the likes of Loizu and Gaguli and Johnny's humble, they can learn from the experienced players that we had in the squad, like your Yordis and your Sheppers and your Duras and your Botiaks. Same applies with Pana. Over the years, the defenders that he's played alongside, whether it be Lufna, Lang, Hubachan, what was that Spanish central defender we had that came in from Apollon? I forget his name now. I forget his fucking name. Someone remind me. He came from Apollon, central defender. Obviously now with Kuli. So you're seeing this evolution of a central defender having Juste, that's the one. Juste, thank you guys. Juste. So you're seeing the evolution of a central defender who's been at the club for 5 or 6 years, if not longer. And he's picking up things not only from his experiences on the pitch, but from his teammates that have played at a higher level. And I'll tell you what, he's just as important as Kuli, just as important. I just think it's Grima that he's not getting the chances at national team. But to be fair, I don't want to see a lot of our players going on international duty because they could pick up injuries, they get tired, you know. So yeah, you still. I see what you did there. If Maya gets serious, it's scary for others in the Barathima. I wish this happened in the playoffs. Well, if Maya can stay fit, then we got a player. And that's always been my concern about Maya, especially when we signed him. It was the injuries and the fitness levels. He's 28 years old, you know? So you can't say that he's still a kid and he's maturing and he's still a bit raw. I think we have a player that can make a difference, especially going forward. But I get the feeling that he's going to be used more and more sparingly as the season goes on. Rotation is key. And while, yeah, you could say, well, he's got, what, 5 goals this season? He hasn't scored since the 9th of November. But to be fair, he missed 4 games. He missed Aradipo Olympiago AEK. 3 games. And then European ones as well. So I just think that we still need to be patient with him. I said I want 15 goals from him this season. And I still think it can be done. Can be done. But if he stays fit, then we've got a player and a half. And you know what? It's good to have that option because Neofido is coming into his own as well. And I mentioned the goal that he scored against, who was it? Which game was it? Where he hit the bar and then he headed it in. Fucking hell, man. My brain is turning into a lava lamp. But again, it's that striker's instinct. And at 20 years old, fucking hell, man. I still believe he can play as a deep ball-playing defensive midfielder. Who? Pana? Dinamo Kiev, that's the one. Bravo. 5 goals, 3 assists. No, doing well. Doing well. Yeah, do you mean Pana? Well, look, I think as a holding midfielder, it isn't just about blocking passing lanes and cutting balls out. Look, as much as I've criticized Pana, as much as I've criticized Gusula, when Gusula was in top form, when he was that Gusula, that's the kind of central midfielder that you want. He'd break up play. He'd be strong. He'd have a bit of pace about him as well. But he could distribute the ball. He could hit the ball in from 30 yards. It's just a shame that Gusula peaked between 20 and 2023. In fact, before the injury. That injury's killed him. It's a difficult one. I don't know if you talk about Evandro, but he's always doing a great job in closing the line. Well, the thing is, Andrea, Evandro isn't a defensive midfielder. And there are times where he can get in front of the back line and protect. But my main issue with Evandro defensively is he's inconsistent with his defensive play. There are times where he's pulled out of challenges. There are times where he's given the ball away very, very cheaply, as I showed you in those clips. And at 20, again, what is it? Oh, is he 28, 29? How much can you learn at 28, 29 on the pitch? All of that depends on him, and all of that depends on the coaching. I still think that there will come a point where he's going to have to do more defensive work. And I still don't know his best position for us. I really don't. This is a question I've been asking since he joined us. What is his best position? If you go in the members area, I'm going to plug that again. I'm going to plug it again. The members area, which is for 99 cents a month. We spoke about Evandro when he first joined. And I was saying, you look on Transfermarkt Paradigma, and he's played in almost every single position apart from centre-back and goalkeeper. So what's his best position? Left wing, right wing, centre mid, as a 10. Well, under Berg, he's been very effective as an 8. Under Dambrauskas, he looked good as a 10. But now he's playing more of a deeper lying position because Eiting is in the team beside him. The responsibilities defensively increase. You can't afford to play one-touch passing in front of the back line. You can't. But a good thing about him playing in that deep lying midfield position is that what we'll see is balls over the top, diags, into the channels to let our wide men get in behind, and he does that very well. We've seen that a lot this season, these balls over the top, and he's very good at it. And it's very difficult for a central defender, especially that's backtracking, to get ahead on the ball, a ball that's precise, because he's played some peaches, I tell you. We have 4 central attacking midfielders. That's the problem, I guess. Well, look, you know, I spoke in the members area the other day about positions that we need to strengthen. I keep saying this. I keep repeating myself, so I'm blue in the face. We need a holding midfielder. We still haven't replaced Bash. That's my honest opinion. I think Bash is probably the best holding midfielder we've had at this club for many years. You know, if you want to talk about Vitor Gomez, Bash, Kusula is best. You know, Bash is he was superb. What he did, you know, in front of the back 4, how he protected and shielded the back 4, but also distributed the ball. You know, I remember I was doing the analysis videos when they were in the members area, and you'd see times where Bash was slipping as a third central defender just to let the fullbacks get forward. His positional awareness was sublime. His passing was excellent. Very rarely let us down. That pass for Loizo in the cup against Pafos, the first leg, fucking hell. Like a sat-nav, mate. And there are central midfielders out there that can do that still. And that's the position I think that we're weakest. Because if we do get an injury to Eiting and maybe another injury to Kusula, I don't know, can Maric do that role? We've seen Maric again overplayed this season, overplayed last season. He's getting his rest now. He got his rest today for sure. So again, it goes back to what I said about squad management and knowing when your players need a break. The substitutions were right today at the right time. Game was wrapped up. Make your changes. Don't overplay players. No, good. Ile Jebratlima. You know. Bash was pure class. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. We need a banya from Abo. I'll be honest with you, Andrea Moore. He's a quality player, but he's just come back from injury. What Abanya are we going to see now? We're going to see the one before the injury or the after the injury? And for him to be match fit and to be into top form, he's going to need that at least another month. Are they going to get that? He had the opportunity to play at the weekend. Didn't because of the weather. So back in training, more strength and conditioning, more work at the gym. It's going to take more time for him to settle back into the squad. Opinion on the referee. Stephanie Moore, I'll do this just for you. Because first half, I don't know what was going on here. Like, what did we have to do to get free kicks or for this guy to give out yellow cards? I mean, I've seen red cards given for this. This is studs up. I blame Gitsoff for not going down and making a meal out of it. He's taking him out. He could have broken his metatarsal. Another one. Fouled from behind. What are we going to do? What are we going to do again? Semedo gets taken out. Nothing. It's fine. It's fine. Just take out our players. It's cool. And then Eiting gets a yellow card for this, even though he's won the ball. It's mad. It's such a madness. Another one. Just pulled to the ground. This referee, I don't know what he was doing first half. I mean, that's a handball for a start. Secondly, he's rugby tackled him. It's fine. Just foul our players. It's another one. Let's try and take out Koulibaly's hamstring. Yeah, there's another one off the ball. I think Sati got a yellow card for that. But here's another one. Shove him from behind. Bosses Forez, man. Bosses Forez. What's going on? He decides, okay, I'm going to give Plati the yellow card from the foul from before, but just ignore the other guy. It's cool. No problem. No problem. Jiggy. Don't worry about it. And then there's this one. I mean, what the fuck is going on? He's standing. Look at where the referee is, by the way. Let me take it back. Look at where the referee is positioned. Right? There. He's got no one blocking his vision. It's not as if there's 2 or 3 players in front of him. No. He's seen that. He's seen that. And it's not a blink and you've missed it moment as well. Jovetic is complaining, he picks up a yellow card. But look at this. I mean, what is going on here? So, it's just a fucking joke. That's a fucking joke. But, as I told you weeks ago, the referees are shit. I can't even turn around and say they've got an agenda against us. They're just shit. Terrible. And then you've got UEFA moaning at the CFA for taking their referees to come to Cyprus. Well, when you got shit like this, what? By second half, the referee improved. Even though it took him fucking 10 minutes to decide on that first penalty. Sensi Anorthosi. Well, Sensi is another quality player. But here's the thing. Injuries. Why do you think no one else snapped him up this summer? He was available on a free, wasn't he? Why didn't anyone else take him on? Because they probably saw his injury record. And lo and behold, he picked up an injury. They didn't do too well. Then didn't he get suspended? Didn't play? So are we going to sign a player like him and wrap him up in cotton wool? Because we're doing that with Maya. We're doing that with Eiting. Is this Rehab FC? Just sign players for rehabilitation purposes? No. I want players where you're going to be able to get 30, 40 games a season from. I'm not asking too much because we've got those players already. So there you go. Yeah, I agree. Is that what you think? We need to score three goals a game? I don't think so. I think we're good enough to score 3 goals a game, though. I think we are. Honestly, what we've got going forward when we're on form, ridiculous. Panna's weakness are his headers because of his height and sometimes his positioning. I think he's good in the air. I don't think he's lethal, don't get me wrong. I think he's decent in the air. My honest opinion is what lets him down is the physicality. I don't think he's physical enough. And by that, I mean, he needs to play dirty. He's a nice guy. He's a good boy. But you can ragdoll him. And that's a problem. Get to the gym. Get the gym. Get in the gym, mate. Protein shakes. He can come with me at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. To be honest, I like Sensi and Mayambella, but we need better than those in my team. Well, I touched on Sensi earlier. Mayambella, quality player. Very, very good. And for the Barathilima, he'd be fantastic. But I'm going to go back to what I said in the members area the other day when I was discussing all of the potential signings and in the summer. We got a lot of players out of contract. Yeah? And I'm pretty certain most of those players are going to go. But for us to be taken serious, the signings that we make in the summer need to be at a higher level. Okay? So whether we go into the Conference League, Europa League, or even the Champions League, you need to look at players that are going to be able to compete in those competitions. Because with the greatest of respect, and again, I'm not singling out these people, I'm just using these as an example. Can you imagine if we somehow got into the Champions League group stage and we're going in there with 2 or 3 injuries and you're seeing Hamas at left back and Simic at centre back? You get the gist. So the signings in the summer have to be right. And it's not about signing players on free transfers anymore. If we win the league, inshallah, we win the league, then the checkbook has to be out. You can't be sending WhatsApp messages to agents saying, I need the, I don't know, my central midfielder, free transfer, salary 500 grand a year. No. You need more. But again, I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a financial analyst. I don't see the books, all that kind of stuff. That's what the people upstairs are meant to be doing. But if we win the league, I'm just saying if, hypothetically speaking, we can't make the same mistake as what we did in 21. Sit on our hands and say, right, we're going to sign players from Olympiacos, no disrespect. And look for free transfers and just get a makeshift squad, and that'll be good enough. And then come January, you're panicking and you bring in Matavs and Lovera. I mean, look, come on. But they've learnt from their mistakes so far. So what's to say they haven't learnt moving forward? I don't know. Gwen as the first signing. Where's he at now? Is this the guy that you mentioned from... Yeah, the 30... Giriago, please, just stop, okay? He's 32 years old, bro, for a start. And he's playing for your Gardens. Is this the kind of player that you think is going to elevate us if we were to get into the Champions League or even the Europa League? This guy? 32 years old? What are we doing here, bro? Come on. Let's be silly. Let's not be silly, man. Come on. No disrespect. Let's not be silly. James Rodriguez. 34 years old, yeah? 34 years old. He's probably going to go IL anyway. Let's have a look. What's he doing now? He's playing in Mexico. Yeah, well, look, this is... Look, James Rodriguez would be the kind of signing that you make to sell shirts or to increase your visibility globally. It would be a smart move. It would be a very smart move to sign him, but he's not... You're not going to play him every week. Play him against your Ethnikos and your Baralimni, and maybe the odd Champions League game. Because I don't know what he's been doing, really and truly. He's been playing in Mexico. In fact, since he left Olympiacos, I don't know what he's been doing. Where did he go? Sao Paulo, Vallecano. Then he went to León. Okay. Forget the age, he's a quality player. Bro, but is he Champions League quality? Is he Champions League quality? This is my question to you guys, because, again, I repeat, if we were to get into the Champions League qualification stage, or even in the Europa League qualification stage, you need high-level players. I hate quoting our club. We're going to sign players that are better than what we've got. But that rings true. You want to sign a 32-year-old Nguyen from your garden to get you to elevate you in the Europa League? Come on, bro. Come on. And given the way that the Barathilima has improved in terms of the visibility, in terms of the quality, the type of players that want to come to Cyprus now, because our teams are doing so well in Europe, you're not going to be looking at 3rd division Spain or 2nd division Poland. You're going to be looking at bottom end of the 1st division of these leagues, bottom end of France. Why not? If they can afford more quality player with bigger wages, but this is my point. If they're serious about stepping up, then you need to do it. But you also need to improve your scouting for the future. And I just hope that Mr. Carlson has got a list of players for the future, or even for now, that we can utilize or we can bring in the summer or even in January. We've made the mistake before of having someone to be scouting players and not listening to him. Laurent Deschamps. So, again, I don't want this to be like Mr. Nielsen that was at Panathinaikos and he came to us, and then when we interviewed him, or when he was interviewed about his role at Panathinaikos, his words were, "I did nothing." You remember that? Members remember that, or they should remember that. They interviewed him when he left Panathinaikos, the Swedish press. What was your role at Panathinaikos? "I did nothing," he said. And he came to Omonia. What did he do? I need to find out where this guy works or where he lives. If we get Champions League phase, we'll probably do rotations. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but Are you? Do you want to see? No disrespect, Dionku at right back in the Champions League, bro? Come on. We were shining in the playoffs. Now being second is just fine. Well, it's only a point, Yanni. I know Pafos got game in hand, but it's only a point. It's nothing. Even 4 points is nothing. There are amazing players in Greek teams we can sign. I don't follow the Super League. Sorry. You know better than I do. I don't know. Still, did this guy bring any players to AEK while he was there with Bleugh? Which guy? He talking about it? You talking about Gonzalez? Gonzalez wasn't at AEK. He was at Salamina. You talking about? Which of the new players we got you think is the best to sign? Don't know. I don't know. I haven't done any research, to be honest, for players that are available in January or the summer. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because what I say doesn't matter. So, yeah. Although I've been sent a list of my mates. Sorry. My mate's got a lot of South American players that he wants to take to Cyprus. But anyway. I'm in love with this player at Club Brugge. Carlos something. What player next year? I see him in the Premier League or Real Madrid. I don't know. Club Brugge. Don't know. Don't follow the Belgian league. That's for Mihaly that's living in Belgium. To the son of Sokolovsky. Sokolovsky's son. Sokolovsky's son. Yeah, but he's a coach, bro. I don't think they did. I sign any players in January. I can't remember. Xavi Roca does all of the signings. Xavi Roca. If you watch the members video I did the other day, when I was talking about AEK and how we shouldn't compare ourselves to them because they've had a sporting director there for 5 years, 4.5 years, and they've built the foundations. In fact, he was there before, and then he went to Panathinaikos and he came back. So I think he's done about 8 or 9 years in Cyprus. But he set the foundations. And this is where they're at now because of the foundations that he set. He laid the foundations. He laid the groundwork. We've only started because we hit the reset button in the summer. Hey. No, bro, previous from players we got in the summer. Andrea Moore, I don't know the question. Sorry, bro. Sokolovsky is a development coach. Yeah. What do you mean it's just a point? They have one less. But that's my point. They have a game in hand. But when you look at the Omonoia, it's 1 point. Yeah? So what they have the game in hand, which is probably going to be played in February. Let's say the next game, Buffalo lose and we win. We go 2 points ahead of them. They still have the game in hand, but they still need to win it. Different story. Different story. Would you rather be 7 points clear at the top and the second place team has got 3 games in hand? Or would you rather be the other way around? Them to be 7 points clear and you to have 3 games in hand? I would rather be top with 7 points with the other team having 3 games in hand because it gets sticky. And I said, if Buffalo drop points in the next game and we win, the heat is on. The pressure is on. And do not forget, guys, while we're still one of the big teams in Cyprus, we're not the team to beat. Buffalo are the team to beat. They're the champions. They're in the Champions League. They've got the big name players. The pressure's on them. Pressure is on them. And no disrespect to them, they've got a few players in that squad that can't handle pressure. When the shit hits the fan, there's a few players in that squad that are prone to make mistakes or to lash out, to get suspended. You've seen the Champions League, what some players have been doing, getting sent off for stupid challenges. And again, no disrespect because he's a really nice guy. But do you think that goalkeeper is going to win him a title? I'm just saying, they're one David Luiz injury away and one Dragomir injury away from a complete and utter meltdown. I'm telling you. Telling you. Anyway. We don't build a serious scouting team and a good networking. We aren't getting any Champions League quality players, even if they're willing to spend. Well, again, I hope they've learnt from their mistakes. And I hope Mr. Carlson is doing his job. And I hope they're allowing him to do his job. Yeah, they keep saying, you need players. I got players. So we keep winning and put pressure on them with the game. Exactly. It's up to us. It's up to us. If, okay, hypothetically speaking, we win every game between now and the end of the season, we're champions, right? It's up to us. It's not about what other teams do. Doesn't matter. We don't need to look at other teams. We look at ourselves. What's the point of looking about other teams? Who gives a shit? If Buffalo win of the weekend, okay, fine. We expect them to win. If they drop points, we need to win. It's that simple. Who do you think was the best signing we made in the summer of 2025? Easy. Gonzalez, the assistant. That's it. That's it. He is the best signing. Sunic or Pepe injury away. I think they've got enough in the middle of the park. Kina can come in. But I think if Dragomir picks up an injury, they're going to have problems. Because Dragomir does a lot of work. And with David Luiz, if he gets an injury, yes, you know, Lucasen is a fantastic defender. Goldar's a good defender. But, you know, when you've got David Luiz at the back, it adds a bit more security, knowing that he's a world-class defender. And then the pressure's going to be on, trust me. I think player-wise, difficult to disagree. Although Andreu has been brilliant, man. He's been fucking brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant, honestly. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, I've done 57 minutes. Fucking hell. And am I still lagging? I don't know. Whatever. If I am, fuck it, give a shit. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your NOUNA, smash that like button, join our Patreon for the €3 a month. Man. For €3 a month, you get the analysis videos. I've done analysis videos this week. Ajax post-game. A pre-game for Rakov with a Polish journalist. An analysis video pre-game for Rakov. A post-match analysis game for Rakov. And then Ethnikos pre-game analysis. 5 pods. I'm a machine. There are no other podcasts out there, probably in the world, that do content at this consistency. They're trying. God bless them. They're trying. They're trying to keep up with us. But I keep saying, we're the alpha. It's that simple. And I'll keep saying this till I'm blue in the face because give a shit. I can. The first club-specific podcast in Cyprus, Omonia. The first and only Cyprus football podcast in English. Viewers around the world. It's because of you. Because every single one of you that tune into this, obviously me and Bedro and Roy and Chris, we will contribute, but you guys and Omonoia Football Town will contribute, but you guys are the ones. You guys are the ones. So yeah, the post game with Ethnikos loading. Ah, yes, I need to do the post game as well. Shall I do that before Christmas? Shall I do that before Christmas? Oh, fuck it. I've got time. I might do one Christmas Eve. Fuck it. At least this year we talk about football, not exactly. There you go, Nigomu. You're a member, aren't you? You're not a member. If you join the members area, yeah, for 99 cents a month, yeah, there you go. You'll see Power Up, where I mentioned expectancy and how this is a phase that we're going through. And everything seems to be smooth at the moment. The only bump in the road is the issue with Jesper. But anyway, we're not going to go into that. Doesn't matter. Let the legal team sort that shit out. So everything is running smoothly. And that's how we need it to be. Notice how everyone else, barring maybe Ike and Buffer, have got their own malagias going on. Their own, you know, bullshit. It is what it is. For once, we can do a pod and not talk about this one and that one did this and that statement and that and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. It is what it is. Stop. Christmas Day and watching still on Patreon. Nah, you don't want to be doing that. You was. It's all right. It's fine. I forgive you. To be honest, I did a lot of content in the members area. I think people were getting pissed off. I think at one point I did 59 pods in 62 days. Told you, I'm ill. The Berg effect. Yes, it's the Berg effect. Anyway, into Gonzalez effect as well. Right, boys and girls, thank you again. I'm definitely going to go. I've done an hour. I didn't even realize it was going to be this long. I need to be up in 5 hours. So I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for being absolutely brilliant. This is going to be the last pod before, well, Bedro, I think we're done for the year, aren't we, in terms of match reviews. So thank you for putting up with us in 2025. Your support has been incredible. And yeah, enjoy your Christmas. Spend it with your family. I don't mean to do this. I don't mean to say this, but value the people that you have around you, your loved ones. Pick up the phone and call someone that perhaps might be on their own Christmas. Because I think, well, in fact, I think I know. I know that when you lose someone, you always think about the good times, Christmases, birthdays, etc. Don't take people for granted. Pick up the phone, speak to a relative or cousin or a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while, or just send them a message. Check up on them, say Happy Christmas. And yeah, we'll see to do a Christmas show before the end of the year. Then it wouldn't be a Christmas show because it'd be after Christmas. No? Oh, bravo. Thank you. What a top guy. What a top guy. I think we need to do this just for Nigo, because it's great to have another member. Too loud. I'm sorry. Oh, well. It is what it is. Shall I do this one? Top man. Anyway, but good marketing. Yeah. Anyway, I shall see you guys soon. Be safe. Love you all. Ciao. Bamish, come on, I ain't done it for a while.